Imagine Sarah and James sitting in bed, scrolling Zillow at midnight because their perfectly fine three-bedroom house suddenly feels too small for their new baby. They're gearing up to make a socially celebrated decision. They're preparing to list their current property and buy a larger forever home. But embedded in that culturally approved milestone is a wealth-destroying mechanism known as the upgrade trap. This single decision to upgrade will secretly drain over $1.2 million from their future retirement. To understand why high earners often feel financially stuck, we have to run the actual math on the great American housing myth. A modest starter home is the absolute best wealth-building tool most people currently own. The financial bleed begins at the signing table, before you even pack a single box. Moving between homes incurs a friction tax, a massive premium paid to the real estate industry. This chart shows the total equity of a home and the massive bite taken out during a sale. Every time you sell a house and buy a bigger one, 8 to 15% of your home's value evaporates instantly. That money pays for agent commissions, closing costs, inspection fees, and inevitable moving expenses. Tens of thousands of dollars vaporize into thin air the second you sign the paperwork. Repeating this cycle 3 times over a 20-year period burns through $100,000 to $180,000 just to change addresses. You are paying a 6-figure penalty simply for the privilege of a different zip code. But the friction tax is just the entry fee. A psychological trap triggers the moment you walk through the front door of that new, larger house. The Diderot effect explains how one purchase triggers a cascade of new spending. In your starter home, your couch looked great, but under the vaulted ceilings of a larger living room, it looks tiny and embarrassing. The rug clashes. The coffee table looks cheap. You have an entirely empty formal dining room, so you start buying to match the new scale. Upgrading the mortgage forces a total shift in your lifestyle baseline. You've bought a massive frame, and now you have to finance the art to fill it, one expensive furniture delivery at a time. Then we hit the daily reality of the property itself. Traditional finance gurus advise setting aside 1% of your home's value each year for maintenance. Today, actual homeowner spending averages between 2 and 3% annually. When you double your square footage, that baseline cost explodes. A new roof or a replacement HVAC system for a 3,000 square foot house commands vastly higher premiums than the same work on a starter home. Bigger houses are bigger targets for property taxes and contractors who charge a premium the second they see your zip code. This line graph shows the modern reality of homeowners insurance, visualizing a 46% surge in premiums nationwide since 2021. The larger the asset, the harder that percentage hits your bank account. Eventually, you step outside your expensive new house and meet your new neighbors. Welcome to the neighborhood pressure cooker. Academic research from the University of Chicago proves that physical proximity to higher-income neighbors directly increases your own consumption. If everyone on your new block hires a professional landscaper, you feel pressure to hire a landscaper. If your neighbors lease luxury SUVs and send their kids to elite travel hockey tournaments, matching them becomes an invisible tax on your income. Buying the cheapest house on a nice street guarantees you will adopt the spending habits of people who make twice what you do. All of these costs pale in comparison to the final wealth destroyer, the raw opportunity cost of your new monthly payment. This visual scale lays out the exact math. Moving from a $350,000 starter house to a $500,000 house creates roughly a $775 gap in your monthly payment at current rates. If you stayed in your starter home and invested that $775 a month at a historical 7% return, in 25 years it grows to $680,000. Over a 30-year mortgage timeline, that same monthly investment approaches $1 million. The homeowner is literally trading a $1 million retirement portfolio for a slightly bigger kitchen and a guest room that sits empty 11 months out of the year. Scaling up your housing is a highly effective way to stay broke forever, regardless of its status as a marker of success. People who build actual generational wealth do not treat their primary residence as a status symbol. They buy a modest home, live comfortably below their means, and let compound interest do the heavy lifting while everyone else stresses over mortgage payments. Wealth is the ability to sleep peacefully at night and walk away from a job you hate because you aren't chained to a massive monthly liability. Before you call a realtor to list your current home, audit the space you already have. Stop trying to match the illusion of other people's success. stay in your starter home. Invest the difference in the payment. Your future self will thank you for being boring today.